shocking incident, thousands of pro-Palestine supporters on Saturday night stormed outside the gates of the United States' most secured building, the White House in Washington D.C., as they attempted to climb the gates of the building and scale the fence. The Islamic extremists smeared red paint on the gates of the White House, chanting Islamist slogans and anti-Semitic slogans such as Allahu Akbar and "From river to the sea, Palestine will be free," blatantly displaying hatred against Israel and the Jewish community. Not only did the rebellious mob try to breach the gates of the White House, but also vandalized US most prominent monuments, including several statues. The pro-Palestine mob covered the General Marquis de Lafayette statue in Washington, D.C. with graffiti and Palestinian flags. The extremist protesters chanted, "We don't want a Jewish state, we want 48," referring to the 1948 war between Arab and Israel, while accusing US President Joe Biden of supporting alleged genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. According to several reports, these protests in Washington, D.C. were organized by the Act Now to Stop War and End Racism, or the Answer Coalition. Taking to microblogging platform X, the coalition on November 3rd alleged that Washington, D.C. is gearing up for the largest mobilization ever in history in support of Palestine. Meanwhile, in another post, the Answer Coalition said that more than 450 organizations had endorsed their pro-Palestinian march in Washington, D.C. It added that tens of thousands of supporters and activists boarded buses from US cities such as Chicago, Houston, and Tampa to take part in these protests. Notably, these protests come in the backdrop of the US government's unwavering support to Israel in their war against the Hamas terrorists, who had on October 7th brutally assaulted Israeli civilians and took away many as hostages. Recently, the US House of Representatives approved $14.3 billion aid for Israel as it continues its war against terrorism.